Hi, Santi. How are you?
Hello.
Ooh, I can't hear you. Just a minute. Santi, hi. How are you? Hi, Felicia. Can you hear me?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, Santi.
I'm on the train, that's why.
Oh, no problem. No problem. I'm going to turn on my video in not too long. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes till people show up. So maybe I'll start at 5 past. Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
Great. Lovely. Just going to make myself some tea in the meanwhile. Hi, guys. Just one more minute and I'll start the presentation. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, can everyone see me?
I see.
Great, lovely. I put a weird background, just to make things more interesting. So welcome to my presentation, everyone. I'm happy to see that you are all attending and took your time. So thank you so much for this. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Suzanne Latre. I'm the head of the Legal at Nurture the Children International UK. And today's focus is how to bring Nurture the Children at your university. So if I had to kind of like give you an idea of what this presentation about is how easy it is to incorporate charity in your day-to-day life, especially if you're a student. I know it doesn't sound like it because you're always struggling with, academic commitments, but actually it will enrich your uni experience. And that's what I'm going to try to show to you today. So please feel free to comment anything if you have any questions at any point. Just feel free to interrupt me because that's what it's all about. It's a hangout session also. So I want to be accessible to you guys. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And if you have any questions or comments, just feel free. Let's go. Okay, so how do we do that? Oh, PowerPoint, no. Desktop. Okay, let's do that, right? Screen share. Wait just a second. Okay, can everybody see?
Yes.
Oh, great, lovely. So welcome everybody. This is Nurture the Children and You, and I'm going to tell you how you can get involved in our magnificent charity, and how you can just make this part of your entire lifestyle, I guess, especially as a student, because I'm actually a recent graduate. And I've started the working life, but I haven't forgotten how important extracurricular activities are. So now that you've seen this beautiful introduction, Nurture the Children and You, get involved in a life-changing charity, bring it to your campus and enjoy the experience with a lovely library behind, I'm going to show you what we're going to talk about. So today's program is 1, get to know Nurture the Children. Who are we? What are our values? What do we do? Because I feel like it's very easy to get involved in a charity and not actually know that much what it's about. So we're going to try to introduce you to the charity. And then 2, what can you do to support Nurture the Children? Bring us into your uni experience and supporting us online. Become a fully fledged volunteer. And 3, we're going to try to show you how joining us can better your life and provide you with purpose as well as build your CV. So basically the first steps are get to know us. 2, what can you do for us? 3, what can we do for you? So yeah, let's start. Welcome to Nurture the Children International UK. So we are basically a UK-based charity that aims to eradicate poverty in all parts of the world. So not only the UK, we actually focus on children that can't afford to eat or attend school regularly in areas like Nigeria, in Africa, especially Nigeria because we have a branch over there. And I know that hundreds of volunteers, including myself, we help to provide a better future for these children. So that's the point of the charity, Nurture the Children, because not everyone is lucky enough to be nurtured from day one. Okay, so we're trying to help these kids find, have their basic needs fulfilled. So yes, let's start. So in this introductory part, I want to tell you about what we really care about. And so basically, we care about helping children get the basics. So, everything that we've been lucky enough to have, like food or education and healthcare, we basically try to make sure that these kids have it all covered. So we have different sub-teams. Sorry for that. We have different sub-teams that work in all aspects of the charity. For instance, I'm in the legal team, and we try to make sure that everything runs smooth. Sorry for the noise. And so basically, Nurture the Children is about nurturing. It's about caring for others. So if you've never been involved in a charity, you probably actually have already like had charity values in your life. So for instance, you know, taking care of a pet is caring for somebody who's more vulnerable than you. Taking care of somebody you don't know or giving something away to charity, you've already all probably have an experience of charity. And anything that you do without expecting anything in return aligns with Nurture the Children's values. Just a quick question, by the way. Have any of you been involved in charities before coming here, before Nurture the Children? Anyone?
No.
No? Ooh, so we have newcomers. That's great. Love that. Thank you very much. Then, so we're going to explain to you why we care. Ooh, sorry for that. So a few facts about Nigerian children. They're not as lucky as many Westerner children because not only have they had issues like the political issues to face and the maldistribution of riches around the country, because Nigeria isn't actually poor. It's just a lot of resources are badly distributed, which means that contrary to a lot of Western countries where there are programs to help redistribute wealth, Nigeria doesn't have as many regulations on that side. So after the terrorist group Boko Haram took over many parts of the countries, there's been 8.5 million people that have been left without access to food. So that's like an enormous number. And these terrorists enjoy the fact that they can tear apart communities and that they make people in need. So they will actually even use children as pawns, and they'll promise them food in exchange for working for Boko Haram. And obviously, kids don't always have they don't always realize the impact of their actions. So they're not going to go to school, they're going to go to war. And it's even more of a big incentive for the children to work for Boko Haram, because 1 out of 5 children don't are suffering from acute malnutrition. So that means 1 out of 5 kids are desperate for food, and they do anything for it. I don't know if you've ever been to bed with an empty stomach, but they do it every day. And I can tell you, they'll after a while, you don't exactly think of who you're working for as long as it brings you food. So next, why is the situation that bad? Because this sounds like it sounds awful, but it gets even worse. So in countries that are linked to high intensity conflict like Nigeria, populations have problems with not only food, but displacement, which means they don't have like secure and stable homes, shelter, and water also. And that's why Nurture the Children is trying to tackle these issues. Nigeria also has has been in a very deep economic recession for the last 2 years. So, I mean, I don't know if you can imagine, but if it's already hard to find food and shelter, if the economical problems add up and pile up, um, that makes it near impossible to have a stable life. So there's an expected rise of Nigerians living below the international poverty line. It's going to rise by 12 million between 2019 and 2023. So what that means concretely is that a lot of kids are not going to get any food. And they're not going to see this situation improve. One of the issues also with Nigeria is its ethnic diversity, in the sense that it's hard to create a homogeneous political system when there's terrorism and many tribes speak different languages and have separatist movements. Because, for instance, in England, everybody speaks English, basically. So it would be easier to tackle a political situation here because everybody speaks the same language and has basically same values. Whereas in Nigeria, there's a richness of diversity and multi-ethnic groups. After that, the situation can actually also change because 2022 is a crucial year for children in Nigeria. So this year, it's the preparations for the presidential elections. So that's when basically this year the political tensions are going to build up even more in an already fractured system. There's a journalist called Bakuku Peterside who predicted that 2022 will be rhythmed by political gladiator battles. So basically, there's going to be a lot of uprisings and protests, riots, because people are sick of the economical problems in the country. And that makes children even more vulnerable because they can become pawns not only to terrorist groups, but also to politicians who are going to use the image of these children to promote their own ideas. And also, they're going to use. They might even stage attacks, just for media purposes. So, well, that's my personal take on this. So, yes. Then I've got a little quote for you. The work of Nigeria is not complete for as long as there is any one Nigerian who goes to bed on an empty stomach. This is a quote by Ibrahim Babangida, sorry. And this quote kind of sums up how Nurture the Children feels. We feel that our mission won't be complete unless every kid in Nigeria is safe from all this violence and this political unrest, and that they actually would feel like a Western child and know that there's going to be food on their table every day, and that they're going to be able to go to school. So what we've been doing concretely about these issues is that we have developed multiple programs to help with this, to help the children get their basic needs fulfilled. So I hope all of you are excited to discover what these programs are. So first of all, we've got the Love Peace program. I'd call it the gift of love because it is a program that was born after Nurture the Children was awarded a lottery funding grant, and we use this money to create this program to reach out to many primary schools in the UK and teach kids about diversity, peace, and very inspiring leaders of diverse backgrounds like Malala Yousafzai or Nelson Mandela. And what we are doing is basically training children from a very young age to care about other people, to care about charity, to care about giving, to understand how fortunate they are and why a change needs to be made in this world. So it is the gift of love indeed. And we've had actually a lot of positive feedback concerning this program, which I think is a very promising idea. And it isn't a widespread idea yet to create empathy rooted programs and to make them mainstream like Nurture the Children has. So another little quote for you guys. Racism is a learned affliction, and anything that is learned can be unlearned, which is by a quote by Jane Elliott. So we kind of rely on this idea that education is the key to changing patterns of behavior. And that's why the Love Peace program was developed. Then we've also have like communication ideas that are within the Love Peace program. So for instance, after this program, Nurture Children creates this pen pal scheme that will allow children from the UK who've just been taught about empathy and diversity to communicate with children from Nigeria who actually benefit from Nurture the Children's actions. So I don't know what you think, but I think that it's a very rich program in the sense that we have theory first and then practice. So we basically root it in the children, not only through words, but by showing them that there is indeed a child on the other side of the world. It's not just like when your parents used to tell you, finish your plate, lots of children are starving, and you never saw these kids, so you couldn't think of them concretely. This is concrete action to show that there is somebody on the other side. Next, we have a sponsored child program. So at Nurture the Children, we have these sponsoring programs, and for very little, 98p per day, all the basic needs of these kids are covered. So £30 a month, what is this for you? That's like a Starbucks for some of you. Like your Starbucks, allowance for the month, Actually, I found out, because I live in London, that there are Pret coffee subscriptions that cost maybe £25 a month. So people are perfectly fine with paying for £25 a month for coffee. But for these kids, that would be their whole life, really. 5,000 children are waiting to get a sponsorship through Nurture the Children International UK's sponsorship program. So it actually has a widespread impact in Nigeria. Then we also work through donations. So that's something that is to keep in mind, especially if you're actually willing to incorporate Nurture the Children into your daily life, because you could not only promote all these programs, but also our donation system. We are very much supported by donations, and with only £20, you can get 120 children a school meal. That's amazing, isn't it? That could be literally a dinner out, just one evening for you, but 120 children would be fed in one day. And if you give £30 a month, sorry, which is the equivalent of a gym subscription, you'd be paying for a whole year of education for a child. And if you give a one-off payment of £100, you'd literally be getting a school meal for a whole grade of children. So what is seems like not too much in UK sterling, pounds, well, that's actually like everything to these kids. And that's why we insist a lot on donations. We're not just throwing your money away or keeping it all for us. We are actually making concrete change, and we know what our donations provide to the public. Then I have a little inspiring little slide for you. So giving actually makes you richer. So I know that sounds strange, but I know that when I was a student, I often thought that that if I gave a lot to charity, it would take away from me. That's because, obviously I had to be careful with my savings, and that makes absolute sense. But there are indeed a lot of people that think that if they give for no reason, they're just basically tossing their money away. But that's actually not true, because there's a Harvard economist who's called Arthur Brooks. He held this study and discovered that charitable giving, he studied 30,000 Americans, and he discovered that charitable giving, if for every $1, sorry, of extra charitable giving, the income of these Americans increased by $3.75. And you might think, well, that's ridiculous because that's not an investment, you're just actually giving money away. But actually it does make sense. And there's an advisor, financial advisor, David Back, that explained in The Automatic Millionaire. That's a bestseller that I would definitely recommend you to read or listen to on YouTube, because there's the full audiobook on YouTube. He says that giving creates this feeling of abundance, and therefore it really helps you to make better financial decisions on the long term. So if you really want to make good financial decisions and be abundant, I think that giving is a right way to be. It'll just help you improve your mindset, really. And okay, so that slide, I created it to tackle a problem that I had, which was I thought, it's really hard for me to donate because I'm at uni. And it is a valid point, like you can't just give away things that you don't have, especially if you're relying on a student loan. But let's say if you have a little room to give, it can actually help you be better at managing your finances. So John Templeton, who was one of the biggest investors of all times, he actually earned only $50 a month, which probably at the time was more than what you think when you just see $50 a month. But he still gave like $25 each month to charity. That's because he understood the importance of giving. And you don't even need to do like him and give 50%, but giving will definitely help you become more abundant. And on the long run, it will help you know how to budget, because you know that you're giving a certain amount per month. So you have to actually strive to be able to continue this. So then we also have school kitchens and food banks. Nurture the Children actually provides over 5,000 children, and it helps them get this meal, at least one meal a day, which most of them wouldn't get without Nurture the Children's intervention. So if they're not fed, these children are very likely to skip school. So if they actually do get school meals, they are more likely to stay in school and not play truants, And if you were to give a donation of £750, you could feed an entire school for a whole year. Isn't that amazing? It's like 1 month's rent in London, and not even, because it's more expensive nowadays. But you could feed an entire school and keep children in school for a whole year. Next, we've got a Clean Water for Schools program, and that kind of taps into what I told you guys earlier about how there's a lot of water insecurity in Nigeria. And we aim to tackle food and water scarcity in the world. So we've helped over 15,000 school children get reliable access to shower and hydrate. And this water is never actually wasted because it's also used for cooking in community school kitchens. We've been providing water to 3 schools in Nigeria. And if you were to get involved, we could definitely expand that number, and we'd be very happy to do so. Oops. Okay, let's go. And there's actually a lot of interesting facts about clean water in Nigeria. So 19% of Nigeria's population has access to safe drinking water. And that's composed of 80% of wealthy Nigerians. So imagine the imbalance is insane. And only 48% of poor Nigerians have access to clean water. And the craziest part is that Nigeria is actually really abundant in clean water. They've got 215 cubic kilometers a year available of surface water. So basically, as I told you earlier, this is about resource mismanagement, and due to the unstable political climate with no great legal frameworks, regulatory frameworks, and institutional frameworks in the country. So there is nobody to tell to say, oh, this is unfair, and more Nigerians should, from different economical backgrounds, should be getting clean water. There's also a problem with pollution because there is no way to tackle pollution and city waste. Everything's dumped into the rivers and streams. And water scarcity is also it's also due to the government's control and command approach, which really manages water based on infrastructure and engineering programs rather than around the people who actually need it. So that's very poor management on a local and national level. And this is really costing a lot of lives because Nigerians not only die from dehydration, but also of infections due to this problem. We also have a boiled egg distribution program. And I think this is such a smart idea because it provides nourishment for internally displaced people across the plateau state of Nigeria. So what we do basically is we go on these outreach tours and we provide boiled eggs so that children especially can get a concentrate of nutrients in just a single egg. And we've been able to provide nutrition for over 150,000 people that have been fleeing violence from Boko Haram and tribal herdsmen. That's an essential program because it's a little investment. It's tiny, an egg doesn't cost much, especially in the UK, but it saves lives and it helps fight off hunger in a very efficient way, especially in these camps where it's actually hard to get your hands on proper food. So as I've mentioned, we've got a medical outreach program. So this program is held in conjunction with the boiled egg distribution program, and it helps provide medical health care to the basics. Really, it just covers the basics, but to families who have nothing and who've got no means to going to the doctor regularly. So they basically, our medical outreach program just provides medical assessments and some basic treatments. So we keep people alive through these outreach programs. Then we've had a lot of special campaigns. So for instance, this Christmas we had our Christmas shoebox appeal, and I thought that also was quite a smart one because it's only a £2 donation for toys and school supplies and crafts that are sent in to Nigeria in shoeboxes. So the marketing aim of this was to show how easy it is to give, especially at a crucial time like Christmas, and it allowed Nigerian kids to get what we in Western countries often get, which are, you know, a little bit of comfort, you know, for Christmas, and just, you know, expand on their basic needs. We've ran this campaign till the end of January, so it was also long enough so that we were able to maximize the appeal of this campaign. Then we're going to go on to the second part, and I'm going to explain to you how you can contribute to all these interesting programs. So first of all, I want to tell you we should go to the moon together. So I want to ask you, why don't you join our volunteering team? Being a volunteer is actually great, especially as a student, and it's quite a sustainable balance because most of us work remote. So you could be doing all of these good deeds from the comfort of your own home. And if you actually can donate, because some of you definitely don't have the finances as students, and that makes sense because some of you are on loans, etc. But it doesn't mean you can't help. And I think that's quite empowering as a student to know that. So what you can do, first of all, just know that charity starts at home, but it shouldn't end there. That's a quote from Thomas Fuller, and I think it's just a lovely quote because, you know, it means that you can do good on a small scale, but you can also expand from that little circle. And there's always a way to do what you need to do. So just for instance, some of you who are like into social media, please share our vision on social media. So whenever you actually share our campaigns, our work, our values, you are just helping us expand our network, and you can help us reach out to volunteers, donors, or future partners. We have LinkedIn channels, Instagram channels, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So you've got a large choice. And if you're an influencer, just please contact us to partner up, because I know that some of you don't really want to go the traditional route and be, you know, regular volunteers. Some of you actually have aims to become influencers because that's kind of like how our modern world works. But if you partner up with us, we could provide you with visibility too, and you can set a fundraising campaign for us. So I think it's a win-win, definitely. Then I wanted to ask you, you can bring us to campus. So you could open a Nurture the Children Society, which could help you actually meet students from your campus and raise funds while you make new friends, and you can hold events in our name. Maybe you could even ask the existing societies at your uni if they want to partner up with us, and you can tell your friends about us. You can even actually go and see your uni admin front desk and ask them if you can open a weekly stall on your campus grounds just to introduce our mission. It won't take you too much time. You see, that's also the beauty of it is, as I said previously, there's a really good balance, and you wouldn't have to sacrifice your studies or well-being to help us. Then I have a few stolen events ideas because I myself used to run a society, not a Nurture the Children society, but a cultural one. I think you could do like a bake sale, a craft stall if you wanted to, if you don't want to just sit there and ask for donations, a pub quiz night, a coffee meetup, a talent show even, which could be insanely ambitious, but I think that's a good idea, an art exhibit or sale, a charity podcast run for those of you who are tech savvy, or even a makeup stall. You know, you could say, oh, I'll do your makeup if you give us like a little donation, you know. So every talent you have, you could actually exploit to help us. And if you can offer it for a low price and come up with a fun event, you could literally make so many friends on campus and even support a good cause. So yeah, now I'm on the third part. See how quick that goes? I wanted to teach you about how you can benefit from working with us, because we are into the give and take, you know, like we give and take. Nurture the Children is very fair on this side. I feel like I myself have always benefited from working with Nurture the Children. So here's a little quote. The self is made and not given. And I find that this quote is really inspiring because it's true. Everything you do with yourself helps you build yourself. And you don't actually, you know, I think that you don't go through life and become who you become. You actually build yourself. So I really like this quote. So volunteering is finding purpose, and that's the reason I made this slide is because I really believe this. I think that some of you are definitely in uni because you are doing what your mom and dad want you to do. You're not exactly sure what's your life mission really. You lack direction, purpose, focus, or maybe all of these three. So basically volunteering provides you with this opportunity to try various activities all at once and help you find your way in life. And also, well, that's for the next slides, but volunteering definitely gives you a sense of self. So volunteering for Nurture the Children, as I said, is an opportunity to build your self-esteem. I know that sounds really far-fetched, but let me explain to you, because doing something that will make you proud of is something that is going to make you feel internally validated. So when you help charity, when you work for charity, you're basically doing something that you know is good. You just know it, and it's going to help you on these days where you feel like, oh my God, I'm such an embarrassment. I've done nothing with my life. You'll actually be able to say to yourself, no, that's not true. Some children are not going to go to bed on an empty stomach thanks to me, thanks to my work. You're going to carry yourself so much differently once you know that your efforts mean something. Then you're actually also going to build new skills for your CV. So if you start volunteering for Nurture the Children, you're definitely going to have the opportunity to develop different skill sets. So in this slide, I've incorporated my own example. I got my law degree from the University of Law, and that was working for Nurture the Children. I started as a legal and community development officer, and that was actually the first time I was able to put my degree into practice. And I've actually had to step up out of my comfort zone because I've been put on different projects. I think that's also one of the things I really like when I volunteer for Nurture the Children, which is that we work also basically on projects, which means that you never really do the same thing and you have a lot of chances to expand your skills. I've expanded personally my networking skills, my admin skills, my fundraising skills, my social media creating skills, and ultimately my management skills as I became head of the legal. Then I'm going to explain to you how we're going to actually help you with this, because you might think, oh, I'm going to just be thrown into this volunteering thing and not know what to do. We actually have some really solid leadership here. So that means that if you work in any sub team of ours, like let's say the legal, if you want to join me, we're going to to provide a few opportunities for you to upgrade your skills. So let's say you're going to get an initial introduction, and this initial introduction, which is held on a Wednesday, teaches you how to fundraise. So at first, I remember when I got this, I was wondering, well, why am I taking this? Because I'm going to be in the legal. It's not relevant to me. But actually, it's still a way of building your skill set. And you will not always stay in your sub team kind of like duties depending on whether you're willing to go out or not. Some of you actually will stay in the sub team kind of like area, but for instance, I like doing a lot of different things. So I've been assigned things to push myself, and my team has helped me tremendously on these projects. We've got great team spirit. So even let's say if I were lost on a project, I'd always have a team member kick in and tell me how they would tackle this project or my challenge, So we are a lot into helping each other as a team. That's how we build our skills. There's the training, as I just mentioned, and there's the fact that you are forced to kind of like if you want to, obviously, you are forced to get out of your comfort zone and use all these skills that you have and that you can bring to the world and to nurture the children. I hope that makes sense. Then I wanted to show you a few examples of the hard skills you can pick up. So what I mean by hard skills, these are the kind of skills that will definitely help you to get employed. So for instance, some of the hard skills I've picked up would be like social media creation and management. So definitely on a CV, this looks amazing. Legal research and analysis. So I've actually done some legal research on UK employment law, for instance, or even just like business law in Nigeria. I've had to like look at this, or just like contract law, a lot of these things. Also marketing and PR skills, because since we're expanding, you might have to help with the marketing and all of these things. And that includes web and app design for some of you who are really interested in building websites. Even if you have a future endeavor, this could always help you, know how to do things. It's always a great way of learning things that you wouldn't learn at school or even in your future job. Fundraising skills, as I've just mentioned, we have this induction that includes fundraising and public speaking, because look at me right now, I'm just introducing you to Nurture the Children. I haven't had the opportunity to speak in public apart from the speaking contests and eloquence contests I've done at uni. So yeah, I've had to train and to practice all of this. So after that, some of the soft skills. So that's also something that you can, say in, let's say, a job interview or even on your CV. You learn how to negotiate. I've negotiated with legal firms, with businesses, just to push our project forward. Strategic thinking. So let's say if you're put in charge of a project or you're even working on a project, you're going to have to think ahead. And that's something you don't have to do always when you're at uni. I just think it's great. It will even help you like improve your essay writing skills. So I think that's great. Team working, you're going to discover the joy of working with a team at Nurture the Children. It'll give you your first taste of, building something in common with people. Then you've got leadership abilities. So, for instance, myself, I've been very lucky because I started as a legal officer, as I told you, and then I became head of the legal team. And at first, it was a bit daunting, but you pick up these skills as you are pushed into the roles. So that's amazing. I just think it really helped me shape my confidence and my ability to manage a team. You've got problem solving because, as you know, nothing is straightforward in life. And sometimes in a charity, you have to be resourceful, especially when you have a project that isn't easy to complete. Then you've got communication, which goes also with the team working, and organization. As I said, you can actually pick up on administrative skills and even time management skills, which I think is amazing. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yok Nemo.
Do you have a question?
Billy.
Hello? Tatiana, do you have a question? Oh,
No, sorry.
okay, no problem. Okay, I'll continue. Sorry for that, guys. I thought she had a question. Then we've got networking for your future. I just wanted to let you know that when you're involved in a charity, you're going to meet a lot of people who are already, working or even students. And this gives you a professional network, which is amazing. It's really useful when you have a career to pursue. Like, let's say in the legal team, I've had a lot of people that have been, into different work fields, or who know, lawyers and things like that, that could have actually helped me to look into careers. Or for instance, just my example, I've added it into the slide, which is that I actually work in peace building. And I had just graduated when I started working for Nurture the Children International UK. And my direct manager, the charity manager, was amazing. She provided a great reference for me, and that really landed me the job in my dream industry. Without her, I don't think I would have had it. So I'm very blessed with the network I have in the legal team and all the other sub teams that work for NTC. Then I wanted to like talk quickly about, opportunities in the charity sector. Can you work in the charity sector after you leave uni? Yes, you can. There are 760,000 paid employees in the charity sector. So basically, working in the charity sector is amazing because you, as I said earlier, you know that you have a sense of purpose and your career prospects can stay very large. You can climb up the ladder quite easily if you're motivated and your colleagues help you and have the same values as you. It can be a bit trying, if I'm being honest, because working in the charity sector isn't always for the faint of heart, but at least you know that you're not contributing to a bullshit job. Sorry for the term, but like sometimes a lot of people have come up with this idea that they're working in just a job that doesn't fulfill them emotionally and spiritually. So the types of career you can pursue in the charity sector, that would be anything. So you can work like me, in the legal. You can work in medical facilities, HR, finance, budgeting, logistics, marketing, translations, communication. There's everything really. So there's everything for each that caters to each taste. So that's why if you work for us, you actually have chances of boosting your employment prospects and to get a meaningful job. So how do I know if I'm good for the charity sector? I just wanted to tackle your insecurities about this. So there's no rule as to what a good fit for charity work is. There's different profiles, various personalities in the charity sector, and some of you may not even feel like, oh, I'm so attracted to charity work. I think that most of the people who work in the charity sector, they just feel like, oh, I'm going to make a difference. And that's the thing that brings them all together. And it makes people persevere when things get a bit tough. So there's like a place for everyone in charity. And that's why I'm going to encourage you to get some solid experience at Nurture the Children International. Then I'd like to say to conclude that at Nurture the Children, we're trying to work for a greater good, and we're just building for future generations, and we're creating new leaders, which are yourselves, and also new leaders who will become so through good food, water, shelter, healthcare, and education. So if you help us spread the word by donating, volunteering, just spreading the word on social media, you're just really committing yourself to a big adventure with lots of memories, good teams, and opportunities. So you're not only helping other children's future, but your own, by building your skills, your network, your purpose, and your self-esteem. So yeah, to conclude, here's a little quote. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, by Mahatma Gandhi. Everybody knows Gandhi, don't you? And I think that's just a beautiful quote, because by being in interaction with others, you start knowing what you want. And that's what Nurture the Children does to you. It helps you stop thinking about yourself and stop being negative. I think, well, that was my personal experience. I feel like by going to bed every day and feeling, oh, I've actually helped somebody, maybe not the whole world at one point, but I'm helping at least some children who would have never gotten what they have today without Nurture the Children. I feel good about myself. Yeah, that's it. So if you guys have any questions, now is the time. Please let me know. Do you guys have any questions? Nobody? Santi, no questions? Okay.
I am good. Thank you.
Lovely, great. Thank you very much. If nobody has any extra questions, I will let you go, and I will thank you so much for attending. I'm really grateful for your time today, and I hope it was interesting for you guys. Okay, take care, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
You too,
Thank
Tatiana.
you, Susan.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. It was really good.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you liked it. I'm sorry, I hope I wasn't too boring, because I was like,
I actually found it really interesting and I'm impressed and it was really great.
oh,
Good luck.
yes,
Thank
oh,
you.
thank you so much. I'm so happy that you liked it. I mean, I tried to make the slides nice at least, so if ever people were bored, they could just look at the pictures,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you so much, Janvi. I really appreciate it.
Presentation.
Have a great evening.
Oh, you're lovely. Thank you so much. And thank you, but I really appreciate it. I was a bit stressed, but I'm happy that everybody liked it. Have a lovely evening, guys. I'm
You
going to
too.
hang up.
Lovely evening.
Bye bye.